So you guys, we got a big event coming up. We got Bryce is gonna be commentating. Okay, so we need everybody that can see this to be there. We got a big event August 2nd. Tune in. It'll be on pay-per-view. I'll have to get the link and get that all situated, but it'll be in the bio. So thank y'all for watching.
What's going on here? Bryce Epps here with my co-host Aiden Krieger for the first episode of the Sportscape podcast. Aiden, how you been?
Hey, I've been just hanging in there, training. We got this fight coming up and stuff, so just focusing on that. I ain't seen Bryce since the last thing, so it's always good to see.
Yeah, good
to catch up. Yeah, and I'm excited to start this little thing we got going. I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I think so too. We can get right into it. NBA Finals going on. Game 6 last night. Pacers go up 2-1 in the series, then lose 2 in a row. One of those being at home. Go down 3-2. Come back home and they respond in a great way. Great win by around 20-point win. You know, what kind of you think about that going into Game 7?
I don't know, bro. I'm kind of clueless on this one because I'm not much of a basketball guy, but from what I can see, I don't really know. I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah, it's Pacers played really good last night. Halliburton, he had a calf injury in Game 5, so they're kind of skeptical going into that with him. You know, would he be the same guy coming off of a calf injury? Because Game 5 he had 4 points and made 0 field goals, so kind of went into there, you know, with a question mark next to him. What are they going to get out of him? They're going to Game 5 Halliburton, or are they going to get a good version? And he played really well.
Yeah.
And T.J. McConnell, clutch. He's always in there, getting some steals. You know, making the hustle plays for the Pacers, and kind of just being the glue guy for them. You know.
Yeah, and I don't watch much basketball, but who's that good dude that's on OKC right now? He was just won MVP.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's been playing good, and Jalen Williams too. Game 5 he had 40. So
yeah, I've been seeing a lot about him all over my feed.
Yeah,
and from what I've heard, like OKC hasn't had like a big season like this in a while. So
yeah, since Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook days.
Really, yeah.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see Game 7 back in OKC. Got any predictions for that, or?
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not much on the statistics of it.
Yeah,
I gotta look more into it.
I'm gonna go with the Pacers to win the finals. Just coming off of a huge 20, 30-point win. It is in OKC, so that's going to be a tough task for them to go in and get the win there. But
yeah,
I just think they got all the momentum right now coming off of that game, and I guess we'll see.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to tune in.
Yeah, I mean, big sporting events. Jake Paul versus Julio Chavez Jr. coming up. You know, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, this one's more on my checklist right here. So Jake, this is gonna be something for him to establish if he's like legit able to go and challenge for a title.
Yeah.
You know, because I think he's going the WBC route because you got the IBF and the WBO, but those are the ones you have to fight. Like the guys in his weight class would kill him.
Yeah.
So like Chavez is gonna be a big test because he's the son of Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., a guy from our city. Beat his dad, and it's just his dad's got a phenomenal name in the sport. So it's gonna be something interesting to watch for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Jake Paul is always a topic of discussion when he fights.
For sure,
he's a real fighter or not. He's a YouTuber or his fight scripted and stuff like that. You know, and I think early on that there was definitely more questions, but he's proved himself
for sure. Yeah.
Over his fights. Coming off of fighting Mike Tyson, which I mean Mike Tyson's all time great, but I think he might have been a little bit too old to be in the ring.
Yeah, and also feel like if he doesn't put on something like special with this show, it's hard, like because he has the gimmick fights with like Mike Tyson,
Yeah.
and he tried to go the traditional route with those that Andre August dude, and this one guy he versed, and he was like a plumber or something,
Hmm.
and that kind of killed his name even more. So if he doesn't do something spectacular in this fight, I just don't see his name holding much value anymore unless he goes and tries to shoot for a title, because nobody wants to see his gimmick fights anymore. They want to see if he's a real fighter and what he's got to prove.
Yeah, I agree too. I mean, yeah, like the guys he's fought, old guys, retired MMA fighters. He
For
fought Nate
sure.
Diaz, like especially too if you fought Mike Tyson and he's 60 years old,
Yeah.
like he shouldn't be in the ring. And I mean, I don't know, you don't knock a guy out that's 60.
Yeah.
It's tough. I think that Jake Paul's good. I think that
Yeah. I think he's got
he's
what it takes.
I think he's better than people give him credit for because of his background coming from YouTube and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And his early days were definitely very gimmicky too.
Yeah. And
But
the one thing I don't knock him for is trying to put on for the sport, because
yeah,
before him, it was very dead.
yeah,
The influencer boxing saved the sport of boxing for sure. Like the misfits and all that stuff.
hmm,
You got to have those type of fights, because if it's just always super serious and all that, it's never gonna bring no fun to the sport for
yeah.
sure.
I agree too. I mean, yeah. I think I think that I don't know. I think Jake Paul probably goes in there and gets it done though.
Yeah, I say I think it's 8 rounds. So I think Chavez, he's not been in shape. He got beat by Anderson Silva, so
Hmm.
I think Jake's probably gonna stop him in 4. Especially he ain't fought in a long time, so
Yeah,
the ring rust is probably
yeah,
gonna be a big influence.
yeah,
Since we're on the topic of belts, we can get on to Jon Jones
yeah,
and what
yeah,
he's got going.
yeah. I don't know. It's tough. I mean, he he looked good in his last fight against Stipe. You know, he got a finish TKO, but he's just so
Yeah,
inactive as a champion
yeah,
that I think that I think that it's probably time to take his belt away, just because, especially the
definitely.
last
Yeah,
couple days, he's came out and said, "I've got no interest in fighting
yeah,
whatsoever right now." Um, and he said maybe that there'll be that itch come back to get back in the ring, but right now he just doesn't have it. So
yeah. And I
I don't.
feel like if you're a champion and you're at the top of the division, like you can't have those type of thoughts, because there's young and up and coming guys like Tom Aspinall, and
Yeah,
even Cyril Gahn is still in the mix up in that division. Like those guys are legit contenders, and you're holding them back from just because you want to get a big payday. Like
yeah, uh, for sure. I mean, Tom Aspinall, he's held the interim belt for over a year now,
hmm
which is insane
unheard of.
because if there's a champion, there's not supposed to be an interim champion, but they're keeping one because Jon Jones hasn't been active
Yeah,
enough. And I just think that you have to strip him of the title at this point because he's very close to being the having the longest heavyweight title reign in the UFC history, and he's fought twice
yeah,
in that time. Like he's got one maybe he's only fought once. I think he's fought twice. He had one title defense. Yeah, he beat Cyril Gahn for the title.
yep. And then Stipe.
Yeah, just absolutely killed Cyril Gahn. Just dominated. He got him out with a submission in the first round, and then
Yeah. And then if he would just fight Aspinall, it'd get the heavyweight division back on top for
yeah,
sure.
I
Because they had good momentum with Aspinall and Pavlich and all those guys that are in that division. But with Jon Jones, you can't force the champion to fight. You just got to strip him.
yeah, I think so too. I mean, especially they've put out all these things trying to keep it up there. You know,
Yeah,
we've got fights, we've got it set, we've got a date, we've got a venue, all this stuff, and it just never happens. And
yeah,
so I think it gets to the point, and that point is now that you just got to look at it. And if you're Dana White, say, Jon Jones, I love you, and
yeah,
everybody knows that, but you're just not fighting, and you don't have any plans to fight, so you just got to take the title away, and you give it to Tom Aspinall, and you let him fight. You let him fight somebody.
yeah. They pull the McGregor playbook out whenever they use John. Like they'll say, "Oh, he'll return this fall" or something, and then Jon Jones will come out with something saying he doesn't want to fight.
Yeah, it's just McGregor card. I don't think he'll ever fight again either.
Yeah, he's for sure done. That's he just knocked the guy out in the club a few days ago.
I saw that. That's crazy.
I know that one was wild.
Yeah, yeah, it's.
But I don't see what else he could possibly do if he doesn't fight.
Yeah,
but he's got so much money. I don't even think he would need to.
Yeah, I think that's the problem with him not fighting is he doesn't need money anymore, so he's got no desire to fight and get more. So I guess he'll just go back to being a movie star.
Yeah, I watched this. Forgot what movie it was.
It was Roadhouse.
Roadhouse. Yeah, that was really good. I thought he played a good role.
Yeah,
he played himself in that.
Yeah, he did. Sure. He did. But yeah, I mean, heavyweight division, it's kind of just it's stagnant right now because of all this stuff going on. And like you said, you got the prospects, some coming, and even some of the older guys who are still hanging around, like Pavlovich, and I mean Derek Lewis is fighting still.
Yeah.
And then Taliesin Teixeira, him and Derek Lewis are fighting next month at heavyweight.
Yeah, that'll be a banger.
Yeah. So
did they release Rosenstrike?
Yeah, they did.
Okay. They did. I was gonna say he'd be a good contender for the belt, but
yeah, they released him. I think he's boxing now.
Jeez, that's crazy.
I think he's boxing, but
yeah, he's on. I think I thought I seen him on Mike Perry's Dirty Boxing thing. So
yeah,
that's why I was wondering. That's a good show too. I think that's a. I think Jon Jones is even invested into that. So I think that's a good open sport. You know.
Have you seen Dan Hooker? He's doing one that he's got. It's called like Hooker's Backyard or something, and he gets like 50 people, and they just do 1 minute rounds. 1 minute rounds, and the winner gets like $1 million.
Damn, no, I ain't seen that.
Yeah, he just did a men's one. He's doing a women's one next, so that's cool.
Yeah,
it's finding new ways to do stuff within the sport helps too, like keep it going and getting it bigger too.
Yeah, absolutely, which is for sure.
And then some crazy stuff with 50 guys, 1 minute rounds. Just whoever wins.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to run it. For sure.
It is. And get on to another topic. Rookie quarterbacks in NFL. Shedeur Sanders.
Oh man,
fallen to the 5th round after he was. I mean, some people projected him first round and top 20 picks. What do you think about that when it happened?
I didn't really expect it. I was like, man, what I thought whenever I seen he didn't get picked on day one, I was like, okay, that's kind of understandable because I could see how he could talk in the room with the team management and all that stuff. So, but after day 2, I was like, what's going on? You know?
Yeah.
And then I seen eventually he got picked for the Browns, and I was like, well, I guess that's a pretty good fit for him. But then I seen that they had 5 other quarterback spots with Dylan Gabriel, and then you got Joe Flacco over there.
Yeah, and they got Kenny Pickett now too.
Yeah, like they got a pretty solid quarterback scheme going on. So I just wonder how he's going to end up fitting into all that, you know?
Yeah, I think so too. I didn't think that he should have been a first round pick if he did get picked there, but I also didn't think that he should have fell to the 5th round.
Yeah.
You know, there was talks about the Steelers drafting him in the round 1, and I wasn't a big fan of that. I think that, me personally, I think the Steelers would have been much better off with Justin Fields than anybody that they ended up with. But yeah, I think that Shedeur Sanders dropping to the 5th round may have humbled him a little bit, which could be a good thing.
Yeah, and you can tell in his post draft interviews like that him getting picked in the 5th round makes him, you know, humble for sure. Because now he's not flexing about his money or nothing like that. He's like he's taking his place as a rookie for sure.
Yeah, and I think that he was maybe slightly above average of a quarterback in college. Colorado, they weren't that good. I mean,
no. The receivers for sure helped.
Yeah, I mean, I think just the big names of Deion Sanders being the coach and Shedeur Sanders, the son, Shiloh, just those names and Travis Hunter being there drew a lot more media attention than if they didn't have those names.
It was the same way with Dion at Jackson State.
Yeah,
Whenever he went there, he brought Shedeur and Travis, and then brought them to a championship. So and then
yeah,
left all of Jackson State in a mess, pretty much. So
yeah. I don't know. I'm excited to see how it plays out with Shedeur. Just being with the Browns, they're kind of
yeah,
known for killing quarterbacks and
yeah,
everybody
that'll be
else
interesting.
because they've kind of sucked. But I don't know. Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting for sure. Um, but yeah, like you said, they've got Deshaun Watson,
Yeah,
Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, and
he's
Kenny
got
Pickett.
he don't have an easy lineup to
Yeah,
go against for
yeah,
sure. So
yeah. I'd like to think he'll definitely beat out Kenny Pickett because he sucked. But
yeah,
uh, yeah, and then
and from what I've seen, he's done pretty good in his completion rate.
yeah, I saw that too. His rookie mini camps, he was around 90% throughout that.
Yeah, with
Which
just one interception throughout
yeah,
the thing. So it'll be exciting. I think they'll put him somewhere. I don't know if they'll do second or third string for the
hmm
preseason, but it'll be pretty cool to see. I think they'll try to put him and Gabriel, mix them both in there for preseason.
yeah, it's gonna be tough. I mean, especially to have that many quarterbacks on a roster
I know.
at this point is a little bit kind of unheard of to have five quarterbacks, especially of those names. Like, it's not names that you haven't heard of; it's people that you heard of.
Yeah.
And I mean, Joe Flacco, he's old. He's kind of there just to be a backup.
Hmm.
But then you have all the stuff going on with Deshaun Watson, so and then him getting hurt last year too. So Joe Flacco steps in, and then they draft Dylan Gabriel too,
Yeah.
and then they bring in Kenny Pickett. So he's definitely going to have a tough path to get to the starting point for the Browns. But I mean, uh, is is what it is, kind of. But
Yeah.
then other quarterbacks in the AFC North, Aaron Rodgers signs with Pittsburgh.
Yeah. That's a good. It's just does Aaron Rodgers still got it though?
Yeah,
You know.
that's the big question after coming off of the Achilles injury. Uh, I don't know. I think his time with the Jets doesn't really reflect him as a player too much because they didn't
Yeah.
have great rosters and he was kind of banged up. He missed a whole year.
For sure. Yeah.
Um, but I think that he will definitely be better with the Steelers than he was with the Jets because he's going to have more weapons, resources, and just a better a better offense and a better team all around. Uh, and
Yeah. For
then
sure. He'll have
he's
more assets to use
yeah
up there.
he's always had a bond with Mike Tomlin too. You kind of tell when they play
Yeah.
each other. But
And I also always felt like the Jets was never a good spot for
yeah,
Aaron Rodgers.
I I don't think so either. And then like the Steelers trading George Pickens too.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It is he's one of our best players, one of my favorite players too. Sucks to see him go, but said that it was because most likely because of conflicts of personality between him and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So they felt like they didn't have a good chance of signing Aaron Rodgers if they kept him. So they sent him off to get Aaron Rodgers, which, like I said, I think that they would have been better off just keeping Justin Fields
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah.
He's
For
young,
sure.
a lot younger, and played well. I think they kind of did him wrong last year with Russell Wilson getting hurt. Justin Fields played pretty good, and then when Russell Wilson comes back, they just give Wilson the spot and kind of just move Fields to the bench and give him a couple snaps here and there to run the ball.
Yeah.
But I think they should have gave him a fair shot at least and just gave him a better chance because he looked well whenever he did whenever he was in the games and stuff. He played pretty good, I thought.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I'm excited to see how the Steelers play out this season for sure. Along with the Browns, there's another team too. Excited to see Cam Moore do his thing,
yeah,
see how
the
he can do.
Titans.
You know, he bringing some new eyes to Tennessee. It's gonna be pretty fun.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's probably got the highest upside of any rookie in
Yeah.
this class this year. Um, everything I've seen on Cam Ward has been that he's looked really good too. Uh, Titans have struggled last year though. You lose Derrick Henry, uh,
Yeah, that's a
and you kind of got nobody else to fall back on. But now you got your guy, and you go into this season kind of thinking, we do have our guy, and he's going to be our guy for a while. So we got to get pieces for him to build around him,
yeah.
and that's going to take time, a couple years. But you just got to hope he does good enough this year for you to still be confident going into the future.
Yeah, and I'm hoping he can lead, be a good leader as a rookie. You know what I'm saying? For the other guys that have been on the team for a while, or
Yeah.
whoever has an established name for the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Gabe with Aiden Krieger and Bryce Epps. Tune in to the next episode. It's good seeing y'all.